Yeah, we're live. It is Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. You've got Joe Rosen. Am I going to point in the right direction? Oh, Lissette Hurtado. And we're fired up today to bring to you the answer statistically, not our opinions, but the answer to the biggest question I'm hearing right now. Is the real estate market cooling off? Lissette, what do you think?
No, it's not. It's still a very active market. You're still seeing multiple offers on every property that I've been putting offers on. They're still coming in at or above asking price, and we still have low inventory. So in my opinion, it's pretty steady.
So I felt what you felt, and I want to get to why do you think these rumors are spreading? I've got my ideas. We'll get to that, but I want to throw some stats out because Lissette and I are a small part of the real estate world, right? You can be the biggest doggone agent out there and you're doing less than 1% of the business. So you're still in your little bubble. So let's look at some actual statistics, right? I remember pulling these numbers with you, Lissette, maybe, I don't know what it was, 3, 4, 5 weeks ago. It wasn't that long ago. And I said there were 17 and a half days in Port St. Lucie, 17 and a half days worth of inventory, meaning if homes sold at the same rate they had sold at in the last 30 days, with the current inventory we've got in the market, it'd be gone in 17 and a half days. That's it, assuming there's no new listings. So with that same statistic, I looked it up now, and it grew dramatically from 17 and a half days to 18. It really didn't grow at all, right? It's the same doggone number. So it's 18 days inventory. So no, the market has not changed dramatically at all. It's almost done nothing, right? It is still the same smoking hot, all-time record, on-fire market that I've ever seen in my life, and honestly probably will if I sell until I'm 73, which, my God, I hope that's not what happens, but we'll see. You never know. Some other stats I pulled. There are 385 homes. These are single-family homes currently for sale in Port St. Lucie. Solds in the last 30 days have gone for 100.38% of asking price. This is original asking. So if they started at 400 grand, dropped to 380, and they sold for 380, it's not 100%. It's less than, what's that, 95%. My gosh. Okay, I'm a little good with math. But so just know it's of original asking price. It's still selling for a hair over the original asking price. You got to remember, yes, there are homes selling for $20, $30, $40, $50,000 over, but there are also homes, because sellers know it's a strong market. When I tell people your home's worth 400, and that's with the inflated crazy prices added in, what do they say? Let's list it at 450, right? That's a common thing. So there are a lot of overpriced homes still out there that are selling for 96, 97, 98%. But if you're priced right, it is selling at the price, if you're lucky, or 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 over, right? So a couple more stats. The average price in Port St. Lucie right now for sold properties in the last 30 days is $315,000, or if you want to look at your specific home's square footage, and it's dependent on a million things, so take this with a grain of salt. The average sales price, not list price, is $178 per square foot, right? So those are some pretty interesting things. So I'm hearing all these rumors of the market cooling off. We're looking at the data, and the data doesn't support it in any way. Am I missing the correct data, or where are these rumors coming from, do you think?
I think it's wishful thinking. I think it's buyers also getting exhausted. I think it's a mixture of that and people trying to forecast what's going to happen next, even though we don't have the data that supports it. For buyers' sake, do I wish it would slow down? I wish we would see an in-between so buyers wouldn't get so exhausted. Yeah. But right now the market is still very steady, really hot at the moment. And I don't forecast it slowing down at least for the next 30 days. And that's as far as I could look out, because we don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think, you had said wishful thinking. I think we're seeing frustration. Mm-hmm. And, it's so funny because you look at these real estate groups, right? They've got 100,000+ agents in there. And I can tell how many buyers versus sellers an agent works with based on the posts that they throw in that group, right? You'll see people who are like, I love this market. This is an awesome market. I've never sold so many properties. That's a listing agent. Then you'll see people who get really frustrated and say, this market's not fair. I can't believe what sellers think. This is completely unrealistic. My buyers are getting frustrated. They're just not going to do this anymore. Those are buyer's agents, right? And I understand the frustration. It is challenging. And we're not selling ice cream here. These are big things. These are important things. These are emotional things. They've said that a lot of people look at the buying process, the selling process, as equivalent emotionally to a divorce or a death. It's a big thing when it comes to emotions for a lot of these folks. And it's understandable. We see it every single day. And some of it's really fun. Some of it's really sad. It's tough. So yes, the data is there to support that we've still got a really strong market. So just a couple things to think about, both from the buyer and the seller's perspective. Number one, inspection contingencies are being used by buyers. Now, I'm seeing this in St. Lucie County. I'm seeing it a lot. This is my biased perspective, but I see you nodding your head. You already know what I'm saying. From a lot of the West Palm, Fort Lauderdale, Miami agents, I'm seeing a lot of offers that are great offers, but they got an inspection contingency. And what's happening, and I actually told an agent, the reason I'm looking for ABC is because, and I told them this scenario, and they said, that's exactly what we're doing. And I thought, why would you admit that? But they are submitting 5 offers or whatever it is on these properties in St. Lucie County, not wanting to drive up here. And they're great offers. Once you accept it, right, say 3 of the 5 accept it, now they pick which one of the 3 they actually want to invest in an inspection with. They drop the other 2 with the inspection contingency, and they move forward with the 1. Oh, by the way, they came in 20 grand high because they wanted to win. But now when you have $1,300 in inspection issues pop up, they're going to ask you for $20,000 off in price, because now they know all of their competition, those other buyers, have moved on to other properties. Could you get them back? Maybe. But at this point, if I got a 7 to 10 day inspection contingency, there's a good chance, knowing this market right now is popping, that those buyers have moved on. They know that. They're intelligent, right? Are you seeing that a lot, Lissette?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, we've had a handful of deals that have you come to the inspection and they just use any reason under the sun to pull out of the contract. And it's because they have 5, 6, 7 other offers out, and one of those 7 or 8 offers was accepted. So they decided to go with a different property. It's a shame for the sellers, but at the same time, we do have backup offers. Yep. So that's a nice option.
Backup offers create a lot of leverage for a seller, which is phenomenal. And I'll give you 2 things that I've thrown out a couple times too that we're doing on the list side to try to mitigate some of that risk, right? With people coming in and just throwing out offers. Number 1, reverse engineer it. Why not get the home inspection done? You can't get it done by your cousin Bob. You got to get it done by a big reputable company if this is going to work. But why not get the inspection done before you even put the home on the market? Share the inspection, and hey, sellers, now you've got an opportunity to fix some of these issues. Maybe there's 23 issues, but only 2 of them are a big deal. Fix the 2. Show us the receipts from the people who actually did it for you. And now as a buyer, when I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, issue. Ooh, these 2 are problems. Oh, we already fixed it. He disclosed the inspection results. He fixed the major issues. He gave me the receipts from a professional who fixed it, who's licensed and insured. If I have a problem 8 years down the road with whatever that issue is, I know who fixed it. I can contact them. It makes me feel comfortable, right? So that's the first thing you can do. A lot of times that'll get rid of inspection contingencies. The other thing you can do, if they're like, no, I want an inspection, right? And you don't know, is because they don't trust your inspector, or is because they're trying to use you as one of the 5 they're putting out. I'll say, cool. Let's write in at a minimum that you are only going to negotiate on those items that your inspector finds that my inspector didn't find. We're not going to talk about the 23 things we already did. You're agreeing that you've negotiated all you can already on these. And if you want to beat us up now. Well, I got 7 offers to look at, right? Because we're not going to negotiate these later, and I want it in writing. Because every agent and their mother will tell you, oh no, we're just doing an inspection just to kind of see. We're not going to be picky. We understand the market.
Everyone.
BS. Oh, by the way, I want a strong pre-approval letter. Oh, my guys are good. They're good. I already had them checked. I mean, I want to sell the house too. BS. Show it to me in writing. And I would say the same thing to myself. If I'm bringing you a buyer and I'm a buyer's agent, I'm not going to tell you to believe a word I say. You don't need to. I'm going to show it to you because I want to blow your mind. Lissette, if you're the listing agent and I got the buyer, we got a great relationship. You trust me, I trust you, but you don't need to trust me because I'm going to give you proof of funds. I'm going to give you a pre-approval letter. On that pre-approval letter, it's going to tell you exactly what the lender's already looked at. I'm going to give you desktop underwriting so you can see everything going on with my buyer. That's my job. I want to make you feel so overwhelmingly comfortable with my buyer that it's a no-brainer to use me. Oh, by the way, when I do all those things, it's probably only 10-20% of buyer's agents will submit a good, strong pre-approval letter that actually says the lender's looked at all those things, is submitting proof of funds, even if it's a conventional VA or an FHA deal. I had one the other day. It was an FHA deal, and I asked for the DU. It said they needed 20 grand to close, and they only had 18,000. How did you approve this guy? He doesn't even have the money to close. Well, we just kind of assumed he would have the money by the time. Well, we aren't assuming, so sorry, see you later. Right? So if you can show me all these things and they're strong, you're setting your buyers up. Guys, if you're working with agents who don't have the experience, you have to work with experienced agents. I don't want to steal anybody's buyers, right? Go work with whoever you're comfortable with. But honestly, work with who you're comfortable with, who is aggressive, knowledgeable, and gets the job done. It is critical in this market. And a lot of times when I'm telling these buyers agents, hey, without a pre-approval that says that you've looked at this stuff, I'm going to highly recommend to my seller they don't accept your offer. Hey, without knowing that you've got the cash to close and it's in writing, I can see proof of funds, I'm going to highly recommend to my seller that they don't take your offer. I don't pick what offer my sellers take, but I do make strong recommendations, and they go with those recommendations 90% of the time. It's easy. And if you don't know how to do it, ask me. I'll walk you through it as the listing agent. I'll help you through it. But a lot of times these guys just don't know. They don't know to submit proof of funds. They don't know what a good pre-approval versus a not so good pre-approval looks like. They don't know the difference. So all of those things are really important. And I'll tell you, now this is my guess. I'm going to ask you, Lissette, if I get 10 offers on a property, forget how strong they are. Just talking about those three things, right? A pre-approval letter, proof of funds, and desktop underwriting. How many out of those 10 are submitting all three of those without you even asking?
No, not many. And I can't stress them enough of researching your realtor and finding someone with experience. I've had an experience recently, just a couple of days ago. I had a buyer reach out to me that on a listing of mine that's already under contract with another buyer, and their agent dropped the ball and never submitted their highest and best. So they missed out. And it would have been the highest and best out of 5-6 other offers that I had at the moment. And they were really upset. So yeah, really follow up with your agent and make sure, you have tight inspection times, you have appraisal contingencies. Those are really important factors that I see my sellers are looking for in an offer.
Okay, Lissette, I'm your buyer. You're my buyer's agent. We go to a house. We looked at 4 today. I love this house, Lissette. Let's get it. I don't want to lose it. Are you excited? I'm excited. It's 400 grand. I want to come in at 390. What do you say?
Then you're not going to get the property. One, I will definitely pull the comps and let you know what they're being sold for. I'm going to touch base with the listing agent and try to get as much information as I can. Do they have multiple offers? Are they at asking or over asking? What can you possibly tell me to make sure I can win this offer? If you're a buyer that you're in a position where you have cash to back you up and you could go above that asking price, or you're approved above that asking price, and you could also meet the appraisal contingency, you're at better odds to win that offer.
Yeah. I've had 3 broken hearts in the last 3 weeks, and I warned them, but everybody's got to walk through this process and feel it. So I get it. But I told them, hey, if you're going to try to negotiate, as a listing agent, I can't negotiate with all 9 offers. I just can't, right? Nor do I necessarily want to. If you're not even realistic, see you later, right? The top 1, 2, maybe 3, we're going to go back and forth with and try to get the terms and the money and all that up. But if you're not even in the realm of reality, sometimes you're not even getting a phone call back. In fact, I wouldn't say sometimes, I'd say most of the times. Mm-hmm. So I told these clients, hey, listen, if you submit and you're 5, 10, 15 grand under, the odds that I even get a phone call back with anything other than we sold it to somebody else is slim to none. And people have this mentality of, let's just try. Let's just see what happens. Yes, I'll pay full price. Yes, I'll pay 10 grand over. But let's just try. We got to negotiate. And in this market, it is not an easy market to negotiate in. If you want the house, you got to go get it. You got to come in strong in the first shot, or people aren't even giving you the call back. So that's one thing I always ask people when they want to come in low, what I consider to be lower than what's probably going to get the house sold. And they'll say, do you think this is intelligent? I'll say, listen, I'll tell you two things. Number one, when I purchased my home, I came in 25 grand over. And I offered $25,000 in a short appraisal. And some people will say that's crazy, but those people may have lost this house and they would have had to have gone with a house that I wouldn't have loved as much, right? I was willing to overpay for it. I'm not saying that's smart or not smart. I'm saying that matched my motivation. If your motivation is, I like the house, I would live here, but I could live in 7 other houses. Cool. Then submit your low offer. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I'm fine with that. What's challenging is when people have to have the house, their motivation is high, but they're also trying to negotiate in a market where you can't negotiate. That's the challenge. And I just want to make sure, and I tell all of us the same thing, myself included, you've got to have that chat with your buyer to let them know that their motivation should match their offer. Are you seeing a lot of that? Let's talk on both sides, but really as a listing agent, how often are you seeing offers that are coming in low? And are you even calling those agents back? What are you doing with those?
I let them know right away, listen, we're going to be having highest and best due by Monday, Tuesday. So let me know now if this is your highest best. If it's not, send it to me. Yeah. So I let them know right off the bat, these are the terms and this is what's going to come down. Because if you think your offer is going to be the only one on the table and we're going to accept an offer below asking price, that's not going to happen. The seller has no issue waiting another 5, 6, 7 days for more offers to come in. They're not obligated to accept an offer within the first 3, 4 days.
Yep. Yeah. And in this market, you'll get it. You'll get it. You can be 10 grand overpriced and your home can show 6 out of 10. It's not professionally staged and you're still going to get showings. Now, I will argue if you're priced appropriately and you're staged great, you're going to get more offers. So you're going to get the same price anyway, but you're going to have better terms. But my point is to say, from a buyer's perspective, to think that people are going to negotiate in this market, unless there's something crazy and you know what's going on. There was a death or somebody really needs to move really bad or just something, and you have the insight, which that is 5% of properties, you're going down a rough road. So it's just important that everybody kind of sees that. But Lissette, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. As always, you brought the fire. Thanks for making me look good. And I hope everybody watching has a great day.
Awesome. Have a great one, guys.